What up, y'all? It's Coffee, back at it with some more content for y'all, some hip-hop news, and much more as always. So tap in, jump in the comments, let's talk, but getting right into it, man. First topic, I wanted to speak about a really dope interview I just saw over there on the Bomb First platform. Great channel. You know, I've been fucking with them for the longest time. Billy Joe voice you heard. Comment and let me know if you tune into that channel regularly as well. But lately, they've been just doing a lot of dope interviews, you know, about back in the day, different eras of West Coast music, Death Row, etc. And they just had a very interesting interview with Spider Loc, right? As y'all know, Spider Loc was a part of Death Row during the Row era, or like Death Row 2.0, however you want to refer to it. You know what I mean? Like, SPI has a very interesting career. A lot of networking, a lot of grinding to get his foot in the door. As I just stated, y'all know he was affiliated with Death Row, later the G-Unit era. A lot of different collabs and whatnot with different artists out on the West. Jump in the comments, y'all. If you fuck with Spider Loc's music, share some of your favorite tracks, or like, you know, but some gems, you know what I'm saying? Like some tracks that are like in the cut that not everyone knows about. Leave some links, you know what I'm saying, to your favorite tracks and whatnot. But anyways, he was talking about his time at the Row era, and he spoke on something that I absolutely never knew. And what I'm referring to, as I'm sure everyone knows, the late great Lisa Left Eye Lopes, you know, of TLC, was signed with Death Row. I remember, man, like late 2000, early 2001, it started hitting the different publications. Y'all remember back then, pre-internet era, you know, for the hip hop news, The Source, Double XL, you know what I mean? Like different hip hop magazines and whatnot. Like, comment, y'all, where did you used to get most of your hip hop news from back in that era? You know, I recall, man, I mean, I know the internet was around then, but as I've shared in previous videos, like, at least from my experience around my way, you know, in my life, back then, 2001, around then, circa 2001, like, some people had AOL. And like, if they did, I was like, damn, like they're doing good. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have access to the web like that. I did for a little while. AOL, y'all remember that though? You've got mail. Files done. Welcome. But yeah, anyways, man, I seen it hitting the news and I was like, whoa, that's wild. You know what I mean? Death Row is gearing up to, you know, get on like an Operation Get Back type deal. They got Left Eye, and I believe she was going by Nina. If I recall correctly, it was like an acronym. Name is not applicable, I believe. And I was intrigued, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, like, she's with Death Row, like, you know, she's going to drop her album, you know, because she could spit. We most definitely saw that on like the TLC tracks. Like, she could spit. I loved her delivery, her energy. You know what I'm saying? She had that swag about her. And unfortunately, as we know, she passed away in a car accident in Honduras. Very sad, tragic news. Like, it was fucked up, man. But what SPI was saying that I was totally unaware of, and comment and let me know if y'all already knew this, was that Suge Knight and Left Eye were like dating or having some kind of relationship or whatever. I swear I never knew this. I'm surprised that after her passing, you know, being that they were having a relationship and whatnot, that Suge Knight did not make sure to get her project out there. Like, I believe it did end up leaking or something like that, or whatever, but I'm surprised he didn't make sure to really get that out there in stores for distribution. I don't know, maybe it wasn't totally finished or what. I'm not sure, you know what I mean? But it's wild. I've stated this before with the Row era of Death Row. Like, it was seeming to me like they were really primed to get back, but ultimately didn't really drop a lot of music to my recollection. I remember they had that 2 Gangsta for Radio album. Y'all remember that? I had that one track that had like the Forgot About Dre type cadence, and they were dissing, you know, the whole Aftermath, Shady, Interscope, everyone. They were like F and W, or not, or no, he said F, Dre, M, and blah, blah. I can't recall. You know what I mean? I believe they were getting that on everyone on that one. I'm tripping. Like, in my head, I thought I remembered how it went, but I most definitely didn't. And I believe that was Swoop G was featured on that track. I know he was all over that project. They also had The Realist, which comment and let me know if y'all fucked with him at all. You know what I mean? I've heard some people refer to him as the fake Tupac. I don't know. Y'all let me know how you felt about that. But SPI actually mentioned Swoop G as well. He was talking about there was an incident where him and Suge Knight had to put the pause on Swoop G, and he said something like Swoop G had offered him some of that chi get the yayo, that white girl, and SPI was like, yo, fuck out of here. I guess he took offense to it, but I don't believe he said that's why him and Suge ended up, you know, lumping him up a little bit. But I guess he said since then they've spoke, they're cool and everything like that. But I'm gonna leave a link to the interview below so you could go check it out if you have not done so yet. Like I said, it's a very intriguing interview. And again, let me know if y'all rocked with that album at all, that Too Gangsta for Radio. You know, like they had Crooked Eye, they had SPI, they had Eastwood. Like they most definitely had talent, you know, but nothing really came of it as far as with the role. But back to speaking about Left Eye, you know, something else that he talked about that was very intriguing was that one night, I guess they all got called to go to, you know, the Death Row Studios or the office or wherever I guess they regularly met at. And when he got there, Suge and Left Eye were there, and they had Dr. Sebi with them. As you know, I'm sure many people are aware that Left Eye was a follower of Dr. Sebi, you know, was all about his way of life and everything. And SPI actually commented saying that he recalled her having just like a beautiful complexion, not a single blemish, skin was just glowing, you know, looked very youthful and healthy and everything like that. And tap in and comment, y'all. You know, Dr. Sebi is very interesting to me. You know what I mean? His story, his life. You know, anyone out there who you know has any information they'd like to share with me about him, or if you yourself have followed his way of life, you know, tap in, comment, let me know your experiences. You know what I'm saying? Did it, you know, did you feel very youthful and healthy and everything like that, as well as SPI was referring to Left Eye? And real quick, I want to point out, if you pay attention to all the different images and whatnot popping up on the screen, you will see something that is like an excerpt from an article where it says, you know, fans are noticing some similarities between the death of Nipsey Hussle and Left Eye. And they're talking about, you know, how Left Eye was a follower of Dr. Sebi and Nip was making the Dr. Sebi documentary. And I just want to let y'all know this is something that I'm just sharing because it's pertinent to what we're talking about. You know, it's not something that I'm saying I necessarily believe. You know, it's kind of a conspiratorial type vibes. And, you know, I just want to make it clear on this channel, I've never pushed like Nipsey Hussle conspiracy theories. I'm not knocking anyone who has or anything like that. I'm just saying that's not what I'm doing here. But I just wanted to share that, you know, to see what everyone thought about that as well. You know what I mean? Like if you're new to the channel, that's what we do over here. We just talk it up on these different topics. So tap in and let me know what you think. But if you guys recall, there's an you know, some audio out there, a clip where DJ Envy on the Breakfast Club was talking about he met Dr. Sebi before and did an interview with him, and he was saying that like he was jumping up in the air. I believe he said he was like in his 70s and was landing on his shins on like a hard countertop or something like that. And Envy was like, yo, it just blew my mind. Like, how could this old man do this? And Spider-Loc actually, you know, was saying something very similar, like the same thing when at this meeting that he had with Suge and Left Eye and everyone at Death Row with Dr. Sebi, that the ground at the offices or studio or whatever it was, you know, was a hard cement ground and had a very thin rug over it, and that Dr. Sebi was doing the same thing, jumping up, landing on his knees and shins, and was sharing with everyone like, yo, I'm in my 60s and I'm doing this. When I was in my 30s, I couldn't, you know, because I was living different. And that's just like mind blowing to me. You know what I mean? Like you could, when you heard DJ Envy speaking of this, like, you could tell he could not believe what he saw before his very eyes. And, Spider Lope shared very similar sentiments regarding Dr. Sebi. So again, guys, comment, share your thoughts, link pinned to that interview below. If you didn't see it, I would recommend everyone to go check it out. And one more thing before we move on to the next topic. Speaking of how we were just talking about that Swoop G offer SPI some of that white girl, and he took offense to it. He also mentioned one of the dudes from Blink 182. I don't know if it was Travis Barker or who it was. I believe he said it was the individual that owned the Famous brand, was running around with a bunch of opiates all the time. Like, I guess he used to see him regularly. They lived near each other, and he was always trying to offer them to him. And he was like, nah, man, I ain't fucking with that, which definitely was a good call by SPI, as we know, the epidemic that's took over America. You know what I mean? Like, this would be the early 2000s. Comment, y'all, if in the early 2000s you were seeing opiates around your way, or you were aware of them or whatnot. Like, personally, I had seen them around. I knew what they were, but it just blows my mind, 6, 7, 8 years later, getting closer to 2010, even like 2007 and 8, the way it was like a mania around where I was, at least, like these pills and everything just took over the streets. And something that I've shared with y'all a couple times on the platform, and most time people seem to concur with Coffee and agree with me, is actually Wifey, she always had this theory dating back, that this was a plan by the powers that be, to get everyone strung out on them opiates, you know what I'm saying? Having a bunch of Dr. Feelgoods writing up them scripts for years. Then a lot of them got knocked, went to the feds. Then, some different doctors popped up writing some scripts to some harder opiates. Then next thing you know, those got cut off, and everyone ended up on that smack juice. And then, of course, we know next up was that Fenty with it, and y'all already know what that is. I ain't even got to go in any further on that. You know what I'm saying? So tap in, comment with your thoughts on all that we just touched on in that first segment. And again, go peep that interview out below, link pin below. But moving along, speaking of addiction and, society, what's happened with this epidemic, we move on to speak about Master P, right? A very, very sad, tragic situation. Just a couple months ago, Master P lost his daughter, Tatiana. She had struggled with addiction for quite some time, had openly spoke about it, and, was said to be getting better. And Master P actually just did his first interview speaking about this. And, it seems that he is indeed on a mission. It seems he has some plan in place where he intends to speak to doctors and, different people and whatnot, and try to save some lives in his daughter's name. And, that's dope. That's very commendable and very strong for Master P, to be trying to stay positive, stay strong, and move forward. I've spoke about this before on the platform. Being honest with y'all, I just don't understand. Like, it's not something I ever want to think about, but parents who have to bury a child, I don't know if I could ever pick up the pieces and move on. For real, y'all. Like, that ass serious. I just can't imagine. I don't even want to imagine or think about it. But Master P, picking up, staying strong, moving on, and trying to, move forward and do something positive in honor of his daughter and help those fighting addiction. I don't know exactly what his plan is yet. He didn't elaborate fully on it. But one thing we know about Master P, right, is he has so many accolades and achievements in his life. He gets things done. He knows how to see a plan through. So hopefully he's successful on this quest as well. You know what I mean? Like P said in this interview, comment and let me know if y'all seen the interview. You know what I mean? That he's broke so many stereotypes in life, just grinded it out, worked hard. So, hopefully he is successful on this mission as well. R.I.P. to his daughter. All right, y'all, check it out. Next up, man, we got to talk about Steven Jaxon, right? Former NBA player. And listen, y'all, This dude is a savage, right? I mean, we already know he'll get it in the malice in the palace. We all saw what happened with that. But I'm talking about a different kind of savagery, right? He's been opening up, speaking about his previous engagement, wedding that was supposed to happen to his fiance, Imani, Showalter. Obviously they didn't get married. It didn't happen. He had to break it off with her. And peep it, y'all, they were together for some time, were set to get married. She was on Basketball Wives and all that for like a season. But peep it, she didn't want to sign the prenup. You know what I mean? I guess he gave it to her like 4 months before the wedding was supposed to go down. Had the wedding all booked, venue paid for and everything. And, she said she intended to sign it. But ultimately, as that wedding day approached, right, she hadn't signed it. So it was funny to me, right? He said he tapped in with the nanny and said, yo, go holler at her. I guess the nanny was like a family friend and, I don't know, must have been close with his fiance. Nanny went and talked to her, came back and was like, yo, she ain't signing it. So he ended up breaking it off day before the wedding. Like it wasn't at the altar that he broke it off, but day before the wedding. But peep it, y'all. This is where it gets extra crazy. Since he had the venue already paid for, he decided to party it up, have an event, get the best out of it that he can. You know what I'm saying? He ain't getting all them deposits back. But check this out. He ended up smashing one of the members of his previous fiance's bridal party. That's savagery right there, y'all. Like, can you guys believe that, man? They say it always goes down at weddings, that the other members of the bridal party be trying to get a hit. I don't know. Y'all can comment and let me know if you've seen it go down that way in your lifetime. But that was absolutely bonkers when I heard that. I was like, yo, he broke it off with her. She didn't want to sign the prenup. Smashed on one of her homegirls or family members, quite possibly. Bridal party, you don't know. You know what I mean? After breaking it off the day before. That's wild, Joe. Like Steven Jackson, you're crazy as fuck for that one. But for real, y'all, when it comes to the prenup, comment, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what you guys think. I don't blame them for that. Like I know some people will probably say, yo, if they're really in love, he shouldn't need a prenup. But you know what? Circumstances change in life. People change. Feelings change. I mean, listen, love is love, no question. But I don't blame that man one bit at all. Y'all let me know what you guys think. So moving along, guys, we got an update regarding Kdot, Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? As everyone knows, he dropped Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers a few months ago. Amazing project. Like, for real, I've touched on it before on the channel, but I swear I've never heard nothing quite like it, what Kendrick put out. You know what I mean? Like, he really puts the art in artists. I've never heard nothing like this. I never felt nothing like this music. Like, in my opinion, Kendrick Lamar is just so original. There's just no one like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, he makes art, right? But we saw a video go viral the other day. I did a video on it, but I'm sure y'all seen it somewhere, as it was a very trending viral video, shaking and moving around the blogosphere. And Kendrick was performing, as he's on tour right now, right? He was performing Love, which I believe is off the Damn album, I believe, right? And we saw, speaking of how deep his art is, right? We saw the security guards singing along, vibing out to the song and crying, right? Like, this music, this art moves people. And Kendrick has an interview that he just did. I haven't seen the interview yet, but in a brief excerpt up from it, I'm going to share with y'all. He spoke about this. And people, what he said, it's really just about the feeling of it at the end of the day. Past all the politics, past all the numbers, it's what music makes you feel, how it makes you feel. So to see that, and shout out to him, by the way, because I seen him, bro, I was like, man, I wonder what he's going through. But at the end of the day, that's how you want everybody to perceive your music. And again, speaking to the art and how moving it is and everything, like, you know, with Kendrick and just with music in general? Like, comment, y'all. You know, is there particular songs out there for you that you know, moves you like that? You know what I'm saying? That may put you in tears, or just takes you to a certain place in life, or helps you get through, you know, tough struggles you're going through, or what? You know what I mean? Like, is it therapeutic for you? Like, share some of those, you know, songs or whatever in the comments below. Like, for me personally, you know, there is particular songs, but just in general, it's so crazy the way music can take me to somewhere. You know, it could be different. It could, you know, it's never the same. I could hear a certain song and it will resonate with me and take me back, you know what I'm saying, to different times in my life. Or sometimes if I'm feeling a certain kind of way, it can just help me like vent, like, you know what I mean? Like, music's just powerful like that. And, you know, Kendrick, you know, like, there'll never be another artist like him. You know what I'm saying? And I thought this was dope to hear him speak about this, about seeing the security guard crying and everything. Like, comment, let me know what y'all think about it.
Product, not the conveyor belt, right? So if they fell in love with the college dropout, then by default, then they yo, I was doing this. You know what I'm saying? They gave me an opportunity. You know what's so funny? Because at one point, when I was signed, I was still signed to Q-Tip through the OMA. Like, I was supposed to sign to Rockefeller. That's why it was so ironic. Well, I'm not saying he's supposed to, but Jay was very interested in picking me up. And it's funny that Jay's kind of always been, me and Jay, I met Jay-Z 1995 at the Gavin, and we always kind of intermingled. We never had like a one-to-one direct relationship, but we always kind of intermingled. So it's just so funny. It was like he spoke to Q-Tip about me, and you know, at the time, me and Q-Tip was going through a lot of personal things, so we didn't go that route, but I ended up kind of going that direction anyway. So just very ironic, and like, and you know, like, and I'm saying this because I'm actually saluting Jay, because you know, we've had our share of troubles, but he's always seen the value in what I brought to the table.
He took a shot at you on anybody run up on Yeezy. I might
yeah, I mean,
he thought Jay was
yeah, at the time, because it was up.
You still think that though?
At the time it was up. At the time it was up. Nah, I mean, cause look. Here's the thing, right? When we were going through what we were going through, it was a transition period, and me and Kanye have had to have this conversation in private. You know, some of it is kind of, you know, it has obviously been in the public at the time. You know, the hard thing about Kanye as my brother, right, is that it's hard. It's hard when people will do anything to be next to him, right? So I've seen artists, like, literally, I mean, you know, people just will do anything to be next to Kanye West. This is just a real thing, you know.
And
especially,
they want the Yeezys
so
too.
So look, here's the thing, right? It wasn't no Yeezys for me.
Oh, back then.
It was the sketch pad of him drawing sneakers. You understand?
Deep.
So before it was something to be on a friends and family list for, it was just
an idea,
a dream. It was before it was getting out our dreams. It was, I have dreams I want to get out, right? And he and I essentially became like sparring partners on the mic, you know, and it actually worked. You know, Kanye's never been a person that was struggling for money. You know, his mom's was well-to-do as far as having influence and having her a great career in Chicago. So he was. I never met Kanye. I never seen Kanye struggle. I never seen none of that. But what he was
came out with a pink polo.
I mean, before the pink polo was part of the product. I mean, when I met him, you know, he had a Benz. He wanted a bigger Benz.
All right, y'all, to close things out, you guys heard that clip. That was Consequence on Drink Champs. And yo, comment, guys, do you rock with Consequence? Do you like his music? You know, I was a bit surprised to see him on Drink Champs. Like, no disrespect to him. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the game a long time, but I don't know. It just kind of shocked me. Let me know if you guys felt that way as well. But he touched on a lot there, you know. I never knew that he thought Hove dissed him, or Hove may have dissed him. Let me know if y'all had heard that before. I remember Consequence had a song that was going around on mixtapes. I want to say like 2010 or 11. It was called Hot Water. I was fucking with that song. But man, what a journey through the game. You know what I mean? Like, you heard him. He said he was there before Yeezys, when it was a sketch pad of the Yeezys. He was there before it was good music, you know, getting out our dreams. It was, we got dreams, we got to get out. You know, you can see he's a bit of a wordsmith, or, you know, is good at expressing his thoughts into art. Kind of like what we were just speaking about with Kendrick. The way Consequence, you know, broke that down was dope. You know what I mean? But I never knew that or heard that before, that Hove had some interest in him. You know, he was fucking with Q-Tip, the Uma, you know, and then it was possibly trying to get signed to The Rock. He touched on a lot in that one. You know what I mean? I don't know why when I was listening to it, I was thinking of that Kanye documentary, The Genius Joint, that's on Netflix. You know, it took us back, Kanye before the fame, when he was hungry, trying to get in the game. And I mean, I was unaware of what Consequence was saying. Like, Ye had a Benz before he got into the game. I mean, I know his mom was a teacher, R.I.P. to her. You know, we know what an effect his mom's passing had on Kanye. You know what I'm saying? We could see in that documentary they had a very, very strong vibe. Like, that was dope to see his mom supporting his dreams the way that she did. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if Consequence and Ye are cool now. You know what I mean? From what he was speaking on in this Drink Champs clip, you could tell they've had some turmoil. But it just feels like Ye does that almost with everyone. You know what I mean? Like, he's falling out with Jay-Z, with Consequence, with Big Sean, which is another individual Consequence spoke about on this interview. I guess he said he saved Big Sean from getting dropped from good music. I didn't know that. He didn't. I don't know if he elaborated on it fully. You know what I mean? Hell, I think I even heard he had some little beef with Kid Cudi, man. Like, yeah, he's wild like that. But I don't know. We can just see from his, like, from the type of individual he is, it's no shock that he falls out with people. But I don't know, man. Consequence, you know, we know he's been a songwriter. You heard him say he did a hook for Lil' Kim. You know, hasn't really been super recognized for his own achievements as a solo artist, but definitely, you know, is a part of a major part of hip hop, you know, a major movement, you know, being around Kanye them early days, you know, working with them, being his lyrical sparring partner is the way he broke it down. But I don't know, share your thoughts on everything he spoke on in that clip. Let me know if y'all saw the full Drink Champs episode. Any other interesting talking points y'all want to, you know, tap in about regarding Consequence on Drink Champs, or just anything else we touched on in this video. Again, as always, jump in the comments. Like, if you're new over here, I cannot stress that enough, that's what we do on J Coffee Talk. You know, I'm very interactive in the comments, so let's talk. And don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned. We also talk sports, current events, crime stories, all kinds of ish. NFL season's coming up. You know, we're going to have a lot of NFL content, and, you know, stay tuned for the lives as well, where you can call in and chop it up. It's a lot of fun, man. So thanks for watching. Look forward to talking to everyone below. It's Coffee signing out. Be safe, y'all. Have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.